Here we go, family. Here we go. Oh, what a beautiful day it is. This is going to be short and sweet, but impactful because this is how we intended to do it. We're going to make 2021 all about action, honey, and a few other things. So, good morning to everybody. I see that Darnaro, as usual, is the first person in the building. Darnaro Evans, hey, boo. Happy New Year to you, too. I see we got a few eyes in here. Good morning to you. I see Facebook user. Make sure you say what your name is so that we can know, because all of the comments are coming from different places and the name is not on all of the comments. Somebody said, good morning, Miss Thomas. Good morning to you too, honey. It is so wonderful to have your great energy here. Welcome to SOULshift Live 2021. Thank you for taking the time to be here. Montaigne Massick, how are you? Good morning, honey bun. Your energy is going to make this even greater. So, it's all about alignment. It's all about creating wonderful vibrations for yourself. And it means a lot that we're all together. So if we have not met, my name is Nikki Thomas. I am afternoon host on 102.9 KBLX in the Bay Area, the San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, San Jose Bay Area, just in case you're watching us from afar. I'm also a speaker, a virtual MC, a yoga and meditation teacher, and a brand coach. It's an honor to be here today. It's a blessing to have made it through 2020. But you know what? Before I started today, it occurred to me that I really like what 2020 made me into. Hey, Kay, honey, how you doing? I really like what 2020 made me into. It really challenged me and shook me to my core. And it was all about a lot of great inner work, right? So 2021 is about putting the results of that work into action. All right. So number one, what is soul shift? Nikki, what are you talking about? What is a soul shift? How can I get one in my life? Well, this is a free community offering, right? Because there's all kind of great folks. There's great stuff. There's great coaches. But coaching costs money. Hallelujah. Type of one, if you've done some coaching with someone, it's not cheap. It's not. And, I've experienced so many different things. I thought I would make an offering at the top of the year so that you guys can experience having that great push and motivation and an action plan. And, we get to be in community space as well. It is a coaching collective, and it is a space to reset, re-inspire yourself, re-spark, and rethink your vision of who you are. Because you could forget everything we tell you today, okay? But if you make yourself greater in your own eyes, honey, listen, that's the magic right there. Shout out to Jennifer Marvin here in the Bay Area, because she said, if you just realize the magic is you'll be all right. And that's the truth. We go looking for the magic, and the magic is right there. All right, so what I'm going to do is light me some Palo Santo. I hope you've got your creative space together as well. Man, listen, this is about clearing energy. This is about creating sacred space and being serious about our spiritual work, right? So on our agenda today, we're going to connect and resonate with each other, even if it is virtually. We're going to warm up the body. We're going to activate the mind, and we're going to spark action plans in our lives. All right. We've got action plans. We've got two powerful coaches that I want you to meet. They're going to give you a meal plan and a money plan. Hallelujah. Please share this video, by the way. Share the video, because I know somebody on your list needs this. Okay. What are the two things that we stress about every day? What am I going to cook? And where does the money reside? Hallelujah. That's what we're stressing about every day. So if a good coach can come in and simplify your life, you're not stressing about those things anymore because you have an action plan in place already. All right. But let's go ahead and jump into this, because the new Nikki, the Nikki for 2021, is all about action. Type of one if you're all about action in 2021. We overthought. We were in isolation. We were thinking too hard last year. But you know what? If I made it through that, honey, I can make it through anything. And I can make anything happen. All right? So step one, when we want to shift, step one is always self-love. I see you, Kay. I see you. All right? And self-love and self-care is an action. All right? Self-care is an action. You know, we think of self-care as what, Calgon, take me away, but it is an action and a discipline. How much do you love yourself? How much are you taking care of yourself? Are you showing yourself the love that you show other people? Hey, baby, let me fix you a plate of food. Hey, let me make sure that you have everything in order. Are you doing that for you? Are you doing that for you? That is always the question. Good morning, D Minor. How are you, honey bun? All right. So, in other words, you can't just say it. Oh, I love myself, honey. I'm cute. I really, I'm taking care of myself. Are you really? Are you really? You can't just say it. You have to embody it. All right. You have to embody self-love. Y'all see I'm slowing down a little bit, right? So what we're going to do is jump into a bit of movement, and I'm going to see if I can move back here so that you can see me. No, you probably can't see too much. Let's try this. Oh, now you can see my cute little setup in the back. Let's come to a comfortable seated position and move into this space of self-love. Let's move our bodies in an effort to show ourselves some love today. All right? So let's go ahead and sit in a cross-legged or comfortable position. If you cannot get down here on the floor, if you're somewhere standing up, if you're sitting in a chair, you're in the right spot. Okay? So let's just sit comfortably or stand comfortably or just take a second to zoom in on the current moment. Let's breathe into this particular moment of time right now where everything is all right. The truth of the matter right now is that everything is okay. Let's breathe into that. I'm safe, I'm protected. I'm virtually connected to some great energy from all over the place. I'm loved. I've been protected every day of my life. I'm still here. Let's just tap into that really quick. That is the truth of where we are right now. I see you, Angela. And let's just breathe. So place the hands on top of the knees. And we're going to start to move a little bit. We're going to warm up the spine. All right, this is my favorite. You're only as young as the spine is flexible. So you're going to take your stomach and draw a big circle with your stomach. All right. So let's just breathe into this space. how beautiful and wonderful the current moment is. All in this space together. Just breathe evenly as you move. Enjoy the breath. Enjoy the movement. Movement coming from here. Hey, Stacy. Stacy is in Alaska. I see you, sis. Oh, I see Singing Diva here. This is beautiful. All right, opposite direction. Your spine is talking to you right now. I know it is. And let's come to center. Go ahead and grab where your ankles are crossed. Inhale, push the chest forward. Exhale, go ahead and round the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Making sure you can see what I'm doing here. You're pushing forward and exhale, round the spine, pushing that tailbone into the floor. Inhale, exhale, and keep the movement going. Delane is here. Hey, sis. Zetha, I see you, honey. Trust me, y'all, there's some good energy in the room right now. Receive this good energy. Inhale and exhale. Waking up the spine. Re-inspiring yourself. You have it, and maybe you forgot. You have everything you need, but when we move, we wake up the body. And let's come to neutral hands in prayer. Breathe and receive. When we move and breathe, we are changing ourselves. We're getting in touch with our higher selves. Breathe and receive. You're not the same as you were 13 minutes ago. Inhale, bring the palms up above the head. Open. This is a victory here. Open, because we are going to open ourselves to receive our information and our action plan today. And bring the palms back together. Inhale back to center. Inhale, palms up. And open, twist to the right. You're going to place the left hand on top of the right knee and the right hand behind you. And go ahead and lengthen the spine up toward the ceiling, looking behind you. Breathe here. We are twisting the toxins out of your system, out of your organs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale. Twist a little deeper, looking behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little deeper. And slowly release toward the front. Woo! Hands in prayer. Breathe and receive. Inhale, palms up. And go ahead and twist to the other side. Right hand on top of the left knee. Opposite hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Breathe here and feel. Feel the stagnant emotions coming to the surface. Feel the twist ringing out. The things that you don't need, spiritually, mentally, energetically. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist a little deeper, looking behind you. Each time you exhale, you're twisting a little bit deeper. And let's bring it back to center. How's everybody doing? Tiffany. All right, fam, hands back in prayer. Every time we move, something happens. Every time we breathe and move, something shifts. Come into the truth about who you really are. Breathe here for a second. Go ahead and extend the arms so that your fingertips are lightly brushing the floor or the mat wherever you are. So little fingertips are on the mat. So let's inhale. And you're going to tap the fingers together at the top. Exhale, bring it back down. Tap those fingers on the floor. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, bring it back down. Keep moving and breathing. Pick it up a little bit. Reaching up to the sky. And exhale back down. Leave the left fingertips where they are. Right fingertips come up and over. Enjoy a good side stretch here. Exhale, let's bring it back up to center. Other side. Inhale up and over and hold and breathe. And let's pivot. Let's go to the other side. And we're going to just flow right here for a second. Malik, I see you. Felicia, I see you. We're just going to flow here for a second. See if you can breathe and move and get lost in this flow. Enjoy the breath and the movement. Enjoying the current moment. Letting the past go. Letting the future go. Enjoying this moment we're having together right now. And let's come back to neutral fingertips on the mat or on the floor. Hands back in prayer, breathe and receive. Let's interlace the fingers as we inhale. Exhale, go ahead and round the spine. Push the arms straight out. Inhale, straighten up and bring the hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, go ahead and round again. Inhale. Exhale. And go ahead and release, opening the arms out, fingertips on the ground. Fingertips back together, palms in prayer. All right, go ahead and shake the hands out. You can move around and flow a little bit more. Self-love is step one. Self-love is step one. Your practice is a form of self-love. And your discipline and your commitment to that practice is your self-love on a daily basis. So, it doesn't take much to spark us back into our creativity and to our mindfulness, but we have to move every day. And it doesn't have to be, hi, Stephanie, it does not have to be crazy and strenuous all the time. Hey, D. So the thing is, when we move a little bit, the mind starts to work better. And those action plans are a whole lot easier to execute. All right, family. So we'll reconnect on the movement tip in just a few minutes, but I'm going to bring in the first of our coaches, all right, to show us where the money resides in 2021, because I know you were looking for it all throughout the year. And if you didn't find it in 2020, we're going to make it easy for you to find in 2021. She is a financial planner. She is a wellness enthusiast. And her mission is to help people of color find confidence in their finances. Confidence in their finances. Because I know a lot of times we're just question mark in our finances. So she's going to simplify things for us and give us an action plan to get our money straight. Please welcome Mecca Dreams in the building. How are you, darling?
Hey, y'all, Grand Rising. I feel so good, especially after all of that. My spirit is like, yes, a big overarching yes.
And you look amazing. You look amazing. She was glowing like that before we started because, that's how she came in here. But I'm so glad you enjoyed it. So she has a presentation for us, and it is a very specific action plan. So I'm just going to let you go ahead and take it away. And I will support here in the graphics. Just
thank you.
I'll follow you.
All right, Queen. First of all, let's give a huge shout out to Nikki for that amazing, amazing movement exercises. I love what she was saying about self-care and how that's an act of love. And sometimes, depending on where you come from, it's also an act of resilience. And I wrote down a note while she was speaking that also managing your money is an act of self-love, right? So I want you to think back to your journey and your time of being an adult, getting into the workforce, getting into your career or your side hustle or your business, whatever you do. A lot of the times we're planting seeds from a garden that was not necessarily meant for us, right? And what I mean by that is a lot of the times when we're managing our money, we have to also think about what are the ancestral things that play ties in my understanding of finances and my understanding of money. And you guys taking a handle on that in this new year, bright and fresh and early, 2021, that is an act of self-love. That is you putting yourself first in this mission. Okay, so we're going to go over some quick tips Top 5 things that you guys can do to manage your money better in 2021. You guys can follow me and tune in with me at mecca.dreams on Instagram, Mecca Dreams on LinkedIn, et cetera, et cetera. So a little bit about me. I didn't come from a background of financial planning. I kind of jumped into this role because I realized in my previous career, which was media and marketing and social, I was working with a lot of small business owners, and I realized there was a huge overarching red flag that even though I was helping them with their media and getting them to sell products and services, they still all were pretty worried about finances. Even though they might have been making more than the, traditional employee, somebody who has a 9-to-5, they still didn't know about anything about retirement planning. They still weren't properly protected with life insurance. They still didn't really know, different things like ROI and, taxes and all those things. And I realized, well, if I wanted to really make a change in this world, I needed to do something on a larger scale. And finances just happens to be that. Okay. And I say that because I don't want anyone to think that, when you're speaking with a financial planner, that they're perfect or that they must come from money. That's why they know things about money. Not necessarily, not all the time. I am one of those people who just likes to study the craft. And the tips I'm going to share with you guys today are things that have helped me and my husband in our life. And I want to share it with as many people as possible. With that being said, Ms. Nikki, I'm going to have you bring up the screen and we're going to go through these quick tips. All right. Number 1, let's start from the beginning, y'all. How you going to win if you ain't right within? And I will cash app $1 to anyone who knows whose face is on this body right now. This is one of my favorite quotes because it goes back to what I was saying earlier. You can go to the next screen, Ms. Nikki. What I was saying earlier about if we don't understand where we come from with money, we're going to have a really hard time planting seeds for the future with our money. All right. And the basics is I want you guys to kind of unleash any fears or trauma you might have around money, because a lot of the times that's where those triggers come from. That's where when we're, we're shopping or we're doing our thing, we're like, I don't really want to look at my debit account. I don't really want to look at how much debt I'm in. That's your subconscious mind remembering all the ways that money has quote unquote hurt you or hurt the people that you love. Our minds move into protective mode and it blocks us from making more money. Ooh, shout out to Delane. She gets $1. Drop the cash app, sis. All right. And so the reality shift that I want us to make today is to realize that money has never actually hurt you. Right? Money is an energy. It's a tool. Now, the person who has that money is the one who's capable of actually hurting us, making us feel small, misusing us, manipulating things, right? That's where we, get into this conversation about capitalism as evil. Not necessarily. What we do with capitalism, what we do with these resources makes all the difference. And so one of my huge crusades with what I do is making sure that the right people have the right type of access to this information. So that way they can get their families from point A to point Z. No family left behind. Okay. Next slide. Next one, Miss Nikki. Perfect. Number 1. The first thing that I want you guys to do on this list of top 5 things is to take inventory of your 2020, a financial snapshot. Now, when I'm working one-on-one with clients, this is the number 1 tool that I use either on a yearly basis or a monthly basis to understand where they're starting at, right? So what were your biggest expenses in 2020? I want you to take a deep breath. Maybe you just write the question down and you come and revisit it later. But these biggest expenses, whether it was food or investing in your business or childcare, home care for family members, all of those will basically tell you what your energy was most invested in this last year. And depending on where you want to go in this new year, that will tell you where you need to shift your energy, AKA your money, right? What were your biggest wins financially in 2020? Did you bring on a new side hustle? Did you save X amount of dollars? Did you get out of credit card debt? Did you buy your first home? I think it's equally as important that we look at what, we did to kind of create more holes in our boat And also think about what went really, really well, right? What was phenomenal about this? And then also let's look at where did you end the year, right? As a whole, where did you end the year? Do you feel more confident about your finances? Are you finally realizing like maybe I need a little bit more assistance? Wherever you are at on the spectrum, you just want to be aware of it to get to this next level, which is number 2. And we can go to the next slide, which is building your nest egg and emergency fund, right? So if you haven't already realized, 2020 was a shocker for everyone, both financially and physically. Not only were over 3 million people unemployed and standing in line for the government to assist them, but also that meant a lot of people are just out of work. A lot of people didn't have options. A lot of people, got COVID, had to take off of work and realize I don't have a proper funding just in case an emergency were to happen, right? So you want to be thinking diligently. If you don't already have 3 to 6 months saved of expenses, that's where you should start, right? After taking inventory of everything, you need to get really diligent about saving towards your goals, right? Or just saving for things that you might not know are going to come up in the future. Because life is not promised. Tomorrow could bring up some emergencies that today you never thought could happen, right? But you want to be prepared regardless. And particularly for my people who are thinking of hopping from a job to entrepreneurship, make sure that you're prepared. I'm all about taking risks, but you also want to take calculated risks. Right? Do you have enough funding already stored away, at least 6 months if you're going into entrepreneurship, to make sure if sales are low a little bit that month, that you're still taken care of and that your needs and necessities are still covered? These are really important conversations that you want to have, not just with yourself, but with your family as well. This is a big thing that I concentrate on with my clients. Number three. All right, checks and balances. So after you've taken inventory of your entire 2020, you've broken down, all right, this is where I spent my money. This is how much money I made. This is my area of improvement. This is what I feel like I did really, really well. Next, you want to go into that nest egg, right? Cashing some money away so that way it's safe in case of an emergency. After that, you want to always get into something called investing. And there's many ways to invest, right? You can invest long-term, meaning retirement. That's usually around 60, 70 years old. But you also want to make sure that you're hitting your goals for retirement. On average, most Americans are going to need at least $1 to $1.5 million after taxes to be quote unquote comfortable, right? Whatever that means for you. If comfortable to you is $40,000 a year, you can live off of $1 million, right? But if you need anything more, you're going to have to start getting really strategic about where am I putting my funds that's going to give me the highest return on investment, right? So if you are an employee, I highly recommend taking a look at your company sponsored plan to make sure that you understand it before you start just putting money away into it, right? Making sure that it's working for you and not just your employer. That's really important to differentiate, right? Because there's a bunch of different tax laws and things at play that will help you if you know them. But if you don't, you're kind of just throwing your money into a bucket and hoping that it sticks, right? So are you properly diversified? Meaning, do you have a mixture of tax advantage, tax deferred, tax now, tax later? Like, what does your portfolio really look like? Okay, so when we look at the retirement system back in the day, our parents and grandparents usually had about 3 different types of accounts. They had a Social Security plan, they had a pension plan, and then they had a personal savings plan. That could be, 401k, Roth IRA, cash value insurance, any of the sorts, right? They had all 3 though. Now look at your current financial picture, right? Do you have 3 different vehicles working for you at the same time? Okay. In retirement, would you rather have 1 check or 3 checks, right? So when I look at people's portfolios, when they're sitting down with me as a client, I'm always taking into consideration, number 1, what is this person's goal? But also, is the thing that they're doing right now going to get them there faster or slower? Okay. So when you get off this call today, I want you guys to write that down. If you're already investing in a company plan, take a look at that, right? If you have nothing set up and you have nothing started, this is the year for that. Okay, because that age is going to come a lot faster than we think. All right, number 4, I'm breezing through these. Let me know if you guys have any questions. All right, number 4, I like to say that hope is a biblical strategy, not a financial one. Okay, y'all, we cannot hope to wake up and be millionaires. We cannot hope to wake up and, get a big break. We got to work for that stuff, right? And luckily, you never have to work alone, and you never have to work in a way that is not going to be beneficial for your goals and dreams. All you got to do is, number 1, write it down. Okay. Number 2, strategize it, which we're helping to do with you guys now. And number 3, execute it and then pray. Because we can't do anything without our higher powers or our ancestors pushing us towards our goals. Okay. So I'm going to go over it again. Number 1, write it down, right? Because a goal in the head is dead. You want to make sure that you have a visual representation of what it is that you want. Number 2, strategize it. Now that you have your goal, how can you break that up into smaller goals to get you there faster, but also with a little bit more ease, right? Does anyone know the best way to eat an elephant? It's 1 bite at a time. Now, would I eat an elephant? Probably not, but you get the point, right? If your goal is huge, break it down into small bite-sized chunks that are manageable that you can get over time. And I'm going to break down to you how you can do that as well. All right. Execute it, meaning do it, and do it scared. Do it before you think you're ready. Do it when you have a little bit of fear, or maybe there's some haters in your mind going like, you can't do that. You're not smart enough. You're not cool enough. You're not connected enough. Do it anyways. Because what you're going to show yourself is that you're capable, even if it's messy, right? Because explosions are always messy. But what do explosions do? They push you forward. And it's okay to fail as long as you're failing forward. Okay. And then you pray on it. You pray on it. You tell your prayer warriors who are in your circle. You tell your closest confidants and your friends, right? So that way they can hold you accountable, but also maybe provide different opportunities for you later. All right. That's number 4. And number 5, which is one of my favorites to talk about with clients, is vision. Vision 2021. Now, I'm a proponent that I don't think everyone is meant to be a full-time entrepreneur, but I do feel like having multiple streams of income is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity, right? Because as we saw in 2020, everyone who thought, well, not everyone, but a lot of people who thought they were secure, jobs not going anywhere, I'm tenured at this school, whatever the case may be, when they got laid off, what did they have to fall back on? Hopefully a rainy day fund, maybe some extra assets, right? And that even is a privilege to even say, right? What about everybody else? But if you have multiple streams of income working for you, even if one of them flops or your hours get cut back or anything happens, you can provide for yourself and your family, right? Ooh, what has helped me is multiple streams of income, Delane. Can you expound on this? Absolutely. Right. So this question is one that I ask my clients who are looking to get an extra stream of income. Right. I always ask them, what value do you bring to the marketplace? Right. What is something that you do really, really well that even if no one would pay you for it, you'd still do it. Right. That's one avenue to look in. Another thing is, what are you already doing for your employer that you could possibly get paid as a contractor or freelancer for? Okay, so when I graduated college, I studied media production. So I picked up a camera. I was doing photography and digital media, things like that. And when I realized these multi-million-dollar companies and these tech firms wanted to hire me for this, I realized, well, there's probably some other people that would hire me for this as well. Right? So I started a small business. It was a couple hours a week. I worked my way up. So I realized, okay, I really do want to be an entrepreneur. I really do want to dive first, right? And through that lane of production and media, I landed here because I figured there was an extra layer of value that I could provide people. So I always tell my clients, lead with how can I provide value? And the money will always follow. Money will always follow. But start with what would you do anyways that even if you weren't getting paid, you would still do it. Start there, and then we can help you to expand. All right. So those are the 5 things that you guys can be doing right now. And to even go a little bit deeper, I'm going to share with you guys my number 1 hack for goal setting, both financially, career, spiritually, etc. We're going to go into this last slide, and then we're going to open it up for a couple questions. SMART goals. Now, a few of you might have heard of this before. A few of it might be super, super new, right? SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Now, this is my go-to structure, no matter if I'm sitting down with a coaching client for finance or I'm doing a power session for media. It doesn't matter. This SMART acronym is everything, okay? So specific, the S in SMART stands for specific because you want to make sure that you set real numbers with real deadlines, okay? So let's say, for instance, someone is like, I want to make an extra stream of income, right? That's a goal, but even more specifically would be like, hey, I want to make an extra $1,000 a month through my cooking courses. That's specific, right? And what happens is because you're so direct and specific, the universe will naturally lead you up with opportunities that can get you there, right? Is it going to be easy? Probably not. Because anything worth having, you're going to have to work for it a little bit. Meaning I saw this meme on Instagram that said once, don't complain when you ask for the cake and then God provides you with the eggs, the butter, the milk, the sugar, and the vanilla extract, right? Sometimes you do have to make the cake, but as long as you have a vision, that's not going to be a problem for you because you're going to be picking up eggs along the way anyways, right? M, measurable. Do make sure your goal is trackable. Right? Make sure that you have milestones that you're reaching for that you set up for yourself. Don't hide behind buzzwords like brand engagement or social influence, right? So let's say, for instance, Miss Nikki wanted to grow her following on Instagram to like 10,000 subscribers, right? She would be specific in saying, I want 10,000 subscribers, not just I want to grow my following. I want to grow my reach. Although that is good, big measurable is a little bit better because, again, you're giving yourself clarity and you have a target. So you know if I'm doing something that's not going to align with that target, I can just leave it behind, right? Leave it for the birds. A, attainable. Work towards a goal that is challenging but possible, right? So on the finance tip, if my goal was to save $15,000 in the next 6 months, I just got to make sure that everything in my business is aligning for me to hit that goal. Right? But if I was like, I want to make $100,000 and save it all, well, that wouldn't really be realistic because number one, I've never saved $100,000 at one time before. Will I get there? Absolutely. Right? In a 6 months period, that's going to be a little bit more difficult, right? So you want it challenging, but something possible. You don't want to try to take over the world in a night. Rome was not built in a day, and neither will your empire. But if you start small, right? Or start attainably, you can plant those seeds for a beautiful garden in your future, okay? R is realistic. You want to be honest with yourself. You know what you and your team are capable of, okay? Meaning for those people, again, on your finance journey, if you've never before cracked 60K and you've been maybe dancing around somewhere between 20 to 25, reaching for $1 million in the next year is probably not realistic, right? But you can go from, let's say, 25 to 45, from 45 to 65, from 65 to 85, right? You want to work your way up because being realistic is honestly necessary, okay? Because if you set up yourself for this big dream and then you don't accomplish it, what that's going to do is just lower your confidence year after year after year. And when your confidence is low, can you make good decisions? Are you aligned with your highest purpose? Are you really doing the work? Probably not. You're going to be second guessing yourself when you're out in the field or when you're doing your thing. So be realistic so that way you can do what you said you're going to do, which is the easiest way to build your conviction and your confidence in anything, right? And the last one of the SMART goals, which is one of my favorites, is give yourself a deadline. Again, a goal in the head is dead. If there is no deadline, to me, it's not real. Okay, because how many times have we set up our vision boards and we got our journals and everything and we're like, I got so many ideas. I want to make this much. I want to do all this stuff. And then there's no deadline. So then we come back to that vision board in 2021 and we're like, ooh, I haven't done any of this. right? But if you give yourself a realistic and attainable deadline, your confidence will grow, the work will get done, and then you'll get to move on to the next task, right? Because when you set yourself up a list, you don't hit none of your markers, you don't do anything with it, what you're gonna find is that year after year, you're still struggling with the same stuff. You're still going after the same goal, but you haven't really made a lot of traction. So that time bound is a thing that seals the deal with all these other acronyms. And hopefully this has helped you guys a little bit to think about finances as not just the nuts and bolts and the money, but a whole ecosystem that ties into the other areas of your life, right? Both physical, personal, spiritual, they all can align beautifully when you allow them to. So those are my SMART goals. Those are my 5 money tips for the new year. And I hope you guys have a blessed and abundant week going into this new one in 2021. Thank you, Ms. Nikki, for the space.
Ooh, girl, listen, hold up a second. Don't go nowhere yet. Listen. Number one, it's great to have someone talk us through not just the steps, but also the inner workings of your brain.
Right.
Because I know for me, for a lot of folks, again, the self-perception and the us thinking that this is not for us. Mm-hmm. What was it that you said at the beginning about the garden and we weren't meant to be in certain spaces? What was that you said?
Yes. So a lot of times when we look at our finances, we're taking seeds from other people's gardens. That could be our parents' garden. That could be society's garden. And we're taking those and we're planting them and they realize, oh, shoot, I don't actually want that. I don't actually like that. Right. And it's not so much that we're not supposed to be in the space, but because we never got the seeds necessary to
right. That's it. Mm-hmm.
To engage with this information. It's been like a scary, like private, my grandma and my mom, like, no, I don't want to talk about the money. Like, you all up in my business. You weren't even allowed to speak to that. Right. And in the Black community, in all communities, think about this. You work at a job and your coworker is the same role as you, but are you allowed to talk about how much you guys make?
Nope.
It's low-key illegal. Like they made it illegal because if you make more than your coworker, y'all do the same work, then that reports poorly on the company that you work for. So it's all these little idiosyncrasies that kind of add up to our fog around finances. And my goal is to just open up that veil and get people to see like, y'all, it ain't that scary. Mm-hmm. It's scarier not to touch it, actually.
Yeah. And the other big thing, this is why I reached out to Mecca. You don't have to do any of this by yourself. That's the other thing. Mm-hmm. 2 heads are better than one. And number one, Mecca here, you're a Virgo. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Let me tell y'all something real today. You want a Virgo on your side when it comes to your money. Okay, I'm an Aquarius. Please don't do that. You don't want the Aquarius in your money. You want the Virgo. So the part about not speaking about it, that's a big one because it's like you coming to someone and speaking about your money. That's not something that I ever really saw anybody do when I was coming up. I never saw it, Mm-hmm. So what I enjoyed about our session, Mecca, is that number one is no judgment zone. Mm-hmm. And number two, we just set up something realistic. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just having somebody to hold your hand is all right. You don't have to know everything. You ain't got to figure everything out. This one just came to me maybe in the last year. That was one of my 2020 things that dropped into my spirit. It's like, Nikki, you know how to talk. Okay, you know how to talk and maybe do yoga and do the Michael Jackson. You don't know anything about money. You don't have somebody to help you. If that puts too much pressure on you to try to be in every lane.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a great opportunity for us to spend some time with someone who thinks in numbers and knows how to help us grow and allocate and all these. See, she got me saying fancy words and everything. So I wasn't saying that a couple years. I'm allocating my funds thanks to Mecca. I'm allocating some monies in this particular direction. Thank you very much.
There we
So
go.
that's the quickest way to create change right there. Get with someone who thinks in a way that you're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you step into the room with Mecca and bam. Oh, okay, I get it now. She's gonna make you get it.
Yeah.
Give you an action plan. If
Mm-hmm.
you just sit and think, nothing's going to happen. The same thing is going to keep happening. So I love everything you said, and thank you for saying self-love. Your money, that's self-love right there. If you don't sit down and look at your money, you're not really loving on yourself the way you pose to. Where's my sage, Lord Jesus? I got to light my sage again.
We got to think in the physical as much as we do the spiritual, because there are interlined, right? Our what we feel about ourselves inside is going to be projected outside. Same with our pockets, y'all. So if your money's a mess, your wallet's a mess, clean that stuff out energetically, right? And then get to the good stuff.
Okay. I love what Delane just said. She says she's fine. I'm fully aware of what you're saying, but also forget a lot of what I know. Me too, Delane. Are you an air sign, sis? I forget. Because child, I forget everything. And you know, the reminder and just the connection and the accountability of having someone. That's really all it is. It's like you might be the greatest financial person, but you're just not acting in such a thing because you just have to get into space with someone who can remind you and come on, baby, sit down.
Yeah.
She's a Gemini. She's an air sign too. Hallelujah. And we're very brilliant, but we do be forgetting stuff. We do be forgetting.
It happens. Yeah, it's all about the guidance. And anytime you're working with a coach, they're not going to do the work for you. Their job is to really plant the seeds to bring out the inner coach in you. Mm-hmm. So that's how I work with my clients. I want them to feel empowered, not that like, oh, I got to rely on Mecca for any decision I want to make. Not at all, right? I think that's the old paradigm that people are used to. Like, I don't want nobody in my mind. I want them telling me what to do. Like, no, I just want to set you up the structures that are going to help you to boss up your life. And then you get to be free to do whatever else that you want to do. Because now you're not thinking about this overarching, like, I ain't got no money. I'm not saving right. I'm not doing this thing. I'm in debt. And now you get to free up space.
No, see, that's the overthinking. That's the overthinking. See, I'm going to translate it into air sign language. That's the overthinking. Because you thinking, when you think you're moving, but you're not moving. Right. You're just thinking. You're just thinking. You're just thinking. So when you start to make moves, things start opening up. It's amazing. When I started making the right moves, more money started coming.
Hello.
If we want to speak energetically, hallelujah, in here.
Yeah. Amen.
The money got right when I got right.
Oof. Yeah, a word.
Where's my church fan at?
Hello, it is Sunday now.
Hallelujah. Mecca, you are the best. Thank you so much for being a part of SOULshift. And again, Mecca is all about you being confident in your finances. We have a place for you to go and book a financial literacy consultation with Mecca. It is a part of your package here. The link is included in our post. And you can connect with all of us and kind of get yourself in pocket. Because again, you take care of your lane. Let somebody else guide you in the lanes that you're not so great in. That's what makes life wonderful. Mecca Dreams, anything else you want to add, sis?
No, I'm just blessed to be here, blessed to know you. Thank you for creating this amazing space for people. And y'all stay tuned for more things from Nikki Thomas. She's got the year on lock, y'all. This is just the beginning. And blessed to be a part of it. So thank you.
Thank you so much. The one and only Mecca Dreams. Follow her at mecca.dreams on Instagram. She will get your whole life together, honey. Whole life. Virgo in the building. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Mecca. All right, fam. Let's go ahead and breathe and receive all of that wonderful energy from the fabulous Mecca Dreams. Self-love. Okay, if you're wondering where the money resides, look at where your self-love resides. That's your answer right there. You know, all of these blessings and abundance come from the inside out. When you think of yourself as greater, that's when greater things start to show up. Greater love, greater money, greater health, greater wealth. So let's go ahead and keep it moving. We have another powerful coach with us today. I don't know of too many experiences that you can access where you get like some great coaches, some great women to step in and just get you to a place where your life gets right. So she is a nutritional coach. She's a chef. She's a realtor. She's a loan officer. Good grief. She's wearing like all the hats. So she's going to tell us not only where the money resides, but where the health resides and how to get an action plan together for our food. This is so big. I got to take notes because she's here to help us get our life right. She's Katrina Carter. How you doing, beautiful?
I am fantastic. How are you, Nikki?
Girl, I'm great. I feel so wonderful just us being together in this space. Energetically, I feel like I'm lit up and ready.
I do too. I learned so much from Mecca. I got so many notes over here ready to go for which will of course help for all my real estate clients and what I do with my clients, but me personally as well. So thank you, Mecca, for that. Learned a whole lot. But I wanted to, and I'm happy to be coming right in along with what we have planned. I love what you put together here today for the Soul Shift, because it really is important for us to tackle all realms of what we have in creating our goals and our intentions for 2021. And I like to say that with all of my hats that I wear, that I provide solutions for home health and wealth. And today we're going to focus on health. As a former trainer and chef, one of the things I found myself doing the most was helping people figure out how to meal prep and how to find time to meal prep. So I want everybody grab your pad and pen and jot down some notes today, because every year, everyone always sets the goal. We try not to say resolutions, sets the goal to get healthier. And one of the main issues is, how do I find time to eat better? How do I find time to cook? We've all spent the last 9 months or so at home, basically, for the most part. And it's okay. So now that I've been home, now that I've had to do more cooking than eating out, even though I've tried to support businesses, what do I do for myself to really go head first into 2021 and putting together your goals? So as Nikki said, I am a realtor and a loan officer, but I also happen to be a health coach and chef. I used to run a meal prep service. And I always felt like if I could find time to meal prep over 300 meals a week for other people, I could teach people how to find time to meal prep for yourself. So, and why this is so important is we really all want to try and get more of the processed foods out of our diet, so much of the convenience foods out of our diet, of course, for weight management, but also to help fight diseases and illnesses that a lot are caused by what we put in our bodies. And this is why it became such a point of contention for me in taking the time to, okay, how do I do this for myself and my family? How do I help my friends figure out how to do this, and my clients, and kind of take that snowball and get it going down the road to where it just becomes a habit and a lifestyle. So one of the things that I always say, that it starts, it's as much as we don't want to take the time to plan, planning is the key. So I always say that there are 3 things I want you to do. So there are 3 steps I'm going to give you today. I'll add in some tools and tips in there, but it's mainly 3 things that I want you to do. So if you've got your pad and your pen, this is where you're going to do. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to create your master meals list. And on this list, you're going to put your favorite foods that you cook at home. So for instance, all of us, if you really take the time to think about it, eat pretty much the same thing over a 30-day period. So out of those times that you cook, like, do you love making enchiladas? Do you love making spaghetti? Do you love making stir fries? What does that look like for you? So start with your favorite meals that you like to eat for yourself or for your family. Write those down. What are your favorite home cooked meals? Next, what are your favorite restaurants to go to? If you're going to have your cheat meals, where do you normally order from, and where do you normally pick up, or who do you want to support? One of my favorite things to do during this time that we've all been at home is, who are my favorite chefs that I get to support at least once or twice a month, and make sure I'm ordering to support their businesses. I know all of us are doing our variation of that. So write those down. Where are your favorite places that you like to get your foods from, as far as restaurants and other chefs you want to order from. The last thing, what are some recipes that, hey, I'd love to learn to cook that at home? Or I have these go-to sites that I like to go to, like allrecipes.com. And, which ones do I have sitting there that I've wanted to find time to go ahead and implement into my meal planning? So that's the first thing you're gonna do. You're gonna make your master meals list of those items. So again, your favorite foods to cook at home, then your favorite restaurants, and then your favorite recipes to recreate. So those are the first three things you're gonna do. Next, you're going to do what I call your healthy foods list. So some people love fruits and veggies. Some people don't. So you're going to start with making a list of what things do you enjoy? What vegetables and fruits do you enjoy? What are your go-to proteins? So even if you're vegan or vegetarian, if your protein sources are beans and tofu and Beyond Meats, Impossible Meats, whatever those are, start with your proteins. And I'll tell you why in a second. But first you're going to start with your veggies. Second, you're going to go to your proteins. And then last, you're going to do complex carbs. And why do I say complex carbs? Because so many people that decide to focus on weight management constantly think carbs are bad. Carbs are bad, carbs are bad, carbs are bad. Carbs are not bad. It's the simple carbs that are bad. It's the simple sugars. It's the rice that's been stripped of all of its nutritional value. The hamburger buns, hot dog buns, the breads that have been stripped of all their nutritional values, all those things. So write a list of your favorite complex carbs, your sweet potatoes, your red potatoes, your quinoa, your oats, your steel cut oats, different things like that. Write down what are your favorite complex carbs that you enjoy. So once you have that list, then you're going to move on to what I call step 3. And step 3 is your meal planning calendar. And just so you guys know, the link that Nikki gives you guys later on, you will actually have access to copies of these things, of your master meal planning list, your master meal planning calendar, and your healthy foods list. You'll have access to all of those. But your last thing is what I like to call your master meal planning calendar. And in that meal planning calendar, you're going to plan. Everybody says, oh, I got to plan what I'm going to eat for the week. No. I believe you should plan what you're going to eat for the month. I know that sounds crazy. It sounds overwhelming. It actually is much easier than you think. It is much easier for you to meal plan for the month if you do it, break it up into parts. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take those proteins. When I said write down your favorite proteins, you're going to take those proteins and you're going to plot them out on your calendar. So for instance, you say to yourself, I'm going to eat chicken twice a week. I'm going to eat beef once a week. I'm going to eat fish twice a week. I'm going to eat vegetarian twice a week. Go ahead and plot those things down. Then it's much easier when you see that in a month to go, oh, I'm going to have grilled chicken here and chicken enchiladas here and chicken tacos there. And I'm going to do barbecue chicken here. Or it's like I said, even if you're vegan or vegetarian, you're going to have these chili beans here that you're going to eat twice one week, a 10-bean soup another time, Impossible Burger. See where it's much easier when you plan it by the month to also feel like you're not repeating meals. When you can see it all plotted out that way. And when you just plot in the proteins and add in the recipes, I guarantee you this will take you no longer than an hour to an hour and a half a month. Once you get this plan done, you don't have to come back to it. And so this is how when I had my meal planning service, this is how I did it, because meal planning was not something I planned to go into. It happened very organically. It was something that I was doing for myself. Then I started doing for some of my colleagues when I worked at the gym. And then some of the clients asked me to, and it kind of spiraled from there. And so when I had to figure out how I was going to do this, and what I was going to cook for them so they didn't feel like they were eating the same foods all the time, I meal planned for the month. And then I repeated that month calendar for the next 90 days. It just went on. And then I meal planned again for the next quarter, and then the next quarter, and I only had to meal plan 4 times a year. And that was how I was able to run my business. And that was when I said, you know what? If people started doing this for themselves, trying to figure out what you were going to eat wouldn't feel so overwhelming. And it would be much easier to feel like, oh, I can just look back on that calendar. What did I eat here? Oh, I really enjoyed that. Let's just move that over to this calendar. So that is what I recommend for you guys. It takes, like I said, 90 minutes tops to put together all of that once. And once you have it, it's done. Then it's a matter of going, now that I've implemented these things into my calendar, into my system, where do I go from here? So one of the things that then once you've got your list, now you can go grocery shopping, or you can do like I do and use Instacart and let them do all your shopping at Sprouts for you. This makes my life so much easier. I highly recommend them, by the way. But especially right now, we've all had to be at home and don't really want to go to the stores, or it's challenging to go to the stores as much as we used to. Once you have your list, it's much easier to use those services, to use Prime Fresh, to use other things that are at your disposal to get things done and not feel like meal planning and finding time to cook and take care of yourself and put yourself first by eating right for you and your family has to be a chore. It doesn't have to be a chore. You just have to have a system implemented in order to do it. Mm-hmm. And the other thing I recommend is, what tools should you have in your kitchen? So quite often I've heard a lot of people talk about having an air fryer or the Instapot. I'm old school. I like my crock pot. I do have my George Foreman grill. And those are basically, and my rice cooker. My rice cooker that has, I always say, make sure you have a rice cooker that has a brown rice button if you want to eat brown rice. By the way, I always hear people say that they don't really like brown rice. You don't like brown rice because you're eating the wrong one and it's being cooked the wrong way. You do not want long grain brown rice. I know we're all used to eating long grain white rice, is what we all grew up with. It's not the same for brown rice. If you're going to go down the road to implementing brown rice into your diet, you want medium to short grain brown rice. And you want to cook it in a rice cooker that has a brown rice button so you can set it and forget it, like the old school infomercial used to say. You want to just be able to put that in there. It cooks it better. The consistency is better. The texture is better. If you're not sure, I recommend getting one of the frozen brown rices brands that you can get. They have them at Safeway, at Lucky's, at Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. I see them all the time. But they have the short grain brown rice in the frozen section. Get one of those to see if you like it first. Then if you like it and hey, I'm going to be able to implement this into my diet on a regular basis, now go out and buy the big bowl, or the big bag of brown rice, get the rice cooker for it, make your life simpler, save some money that way. But that's the way you want to start with that particular grain. I just wanted to add that one in. But as far as, again, tools to have in your kitchen, I like having the crock pot. I like having my George Foreman grill. And then, of course, like I said, my rice cooker with the brown rice button that has a steamer as well. And then my ceramic pans. If you're going to use nonstick, you want to try to aim for ceramic. It's better for you. It's better for the environment. And that's about it as far as your tools in the kitchen. As far as ways to cook your food, steaming, grilling, roasting, sauteing are all your best. If you do really, really, really want fried food, then yes, go ahead, grab that air fryer. I've heard some tremendous things about what people have been able to cook in their air fryer and how much they love what they've been able to create in their air fryers. If you really, really, really have a craving for fried food, but you know that you want to make health a priority in your life, grab that air fryer and play. And feel free to play with the various seasonings and make that one of the things you do for yourself on the weekend, like try a new recipe once or twice a month in your air fryer. But like I said, those are the things that I love to get you started on meal prepping and finding ways and time to implement meal prep into your life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Simple, simple, simple.
Oh, not that I wanted to invade on your presentation here.
No.
You can totally keep going if you want.
No. You know me, simple. Let's get to it.
And Delane says she's headed to Amazon right now to get that rice cooker.
Thank you, Delane. I highly recommend getting that. It really was probably the first lifesaver was having that, and then the George Foreman grill. Those two things make your life simple.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I want to know about. Did you say meal planning 4 times a year? Did I hear that right?
I did. Because you're only going to meal plan once a month, and then you're just going to recycle that calendar every 30 days for your first quarter. Then you do it again for a quarter, do it again. Meal plan 4 times a year. That's it.
Okay, see what we had said before about, you know what? I'm not necessarily thinking in these terms. It's very efficient. And think about how much time and money you waste because you don't know what you're going to cook.
Yes.
How many years and decades out of your life have been spent on what am I going to eat? Then you're running to go get the fast food, or you're spending way too much money because you're not keeping track. All this is the same. The money and it's the same system. You have to keep track. And if you can get an overview or a grid for anything will save your life. I'm telling you, it's like I do my whole radio show with a grid. It's a grid. I know what I'm going to say every time I talk.
Yep.
So same concept. You know what you're going to eat every meal and every day.
Yeah.
So when you put it that way, Katrina, you meal plan 4 times a year, and you've got so many hours to spend with your kids to get out and get some fresh air.
Yep.
You've got so much time to do all of these great things. This is awesome. Okay, Delane is like all over everything. She says, I love this. I make my oatmeal in a small one and will now make my brown rice in the larger one.
Yep.
Wait, hold up a second. You can make oatmeal in
the rice cooker.
Yeah. Rice cooker?
Yes, honey. Look, you just had a whole bomb just went off above your head.
Oh my God, I'm having a genuine moment. My whole life has changed. I'm just
No, absolutely. You absolutely can. And the fun part about doing that, then you can make it with your almond milk or your cinnamon and play with the different recipes.
Oh my God.
Have a moment.
I had been looking for the solution because I like oatmeal. I like oatmeal, know that I can just like pop it in, as a little tray. I have a little one and I need a bigger one for the rice actually. So same as Delane. Mm-hmm. I'll be doing the same thing. I'm going to use that one for the oatmeal and get a bigger one for the rice because we need more rice. Rice is, as long as you got some rice sitting there, you can make a meal out of whatever's in the fridge.
Rice and beans.
Felicia says she didn't know that. Delane says it's a game changer. Oh, you just changed my whole life.
Oh, it's a total game changer. Look, I didn't tell you guys this one. How about if you ground up oats and use that as your flour for making pancakes?
Okay. See, this would have never dawned on me in a million years.
Yes. That's how you can have a healthier base for your pancakes. You can make oatmeal pancakes. Mm-hmm. Make them in batches. I normally make 20 at a time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Look.
We meal prep together.
Okay. Yeah. I'm about to just turn the camera off and go run in the kitchen. Put all these things to good use. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what are some of your favorite meals to cook, Katrina?
Well, I just mentioned that one. So my oatmeal blueberry protein pancakes are probably the number one thing most people used to ask me for and that we keep around here in the freezer. That's my favorite breakfast, or smoothies, of course. Lunch, my probably favorite. I love grilled salmon and salad. anytime. I'll do a grilled barbecued salmon, a grilled lemon pepper salmon, grilled teriyaki salmon, anytime. And then probably my other thing is my 5-bean chili. Especially right now, it's cold. I'll probably make some of that today.
Yeah, I'm a chili girl too. I love chili. If you get like good meat, good ground turkey, or good like organic beef.
This one's veggie. It's vegan chili.
Ooh.
5-bean veggie vegan chili. It's tons of their spinach and red and yellow orange bell peppers and red onions and yes.
Okay, I'll do vegan. I eat everything. Right. I'll do vegan. Any of it as long as it's good food. I'm in love with it. Okay, so yeah, I just had my mind blown. I know what I'm eating for breakfast tomorrow. Look at me putting my dreams into the future and putting my action plan in place. Oh. So tell us about when we reach out to you and we say, hey, Katrina, what kind of consultation or service are you offering right now that would help us with our meal planning?
So right now I'm going to be offering everyone a coaching consultation, just a meal prep, just to go over creating a system for them. And then those people that sign up for that will also be privy to, I will be doing a meal prep course the end of this month. We're going to meal prep together. On, I believe, the last Sunday of this month. I'm still working on the date, but we are going to do just a couple of hours of meal prep together. So those who are interested, go to thinkkatrina.com, or you can find me everywhere on social media at thinkkatrina and DM me and let's talk.
I love it. Okay. And if you need any support for that, let me know, because hey, we can make it all pop at any particular time. Yes. So I'm going to put this up here again. You can follow her at Think Katrina. You can go to thinkkatrina.com. She has a natural remedies ebook, and you can also contact her to get more information about her meal planning course. Or there's a great many things that Katrina can help you do. Okay. So loan officer and realtor.
Oh, we won't.
There's that too.
I'm so grateful to be able to help so many people buy their homes. One of the things I love is help people find their home and then help people get healthy and organized in their home. That's what we do together.
I love this. And thank you so much, because I'll tell you what happened. I feel like there's a new version of myself right now. And there is a new version of yourself that will emerge when you connect, when you use your community the way you're supposed to. And I don't mean use. I mean connect with.
Yes.
And have that energy exchange. Because again, that is going to change my mornings. Oatmeal is one of my favorites, but the whole pot, and oh my God, I got to wash the pot, and oh my God, every day, it just wasn't pleasant. So just something small like that, it totally frees up time for me to do what I do, because, there's a lot on the brain, and for us to bring these things to fruition, it takes quite a bit of energy. It takes quite a bit.
And we're all about simplifying that for people. So
yeah, simplifying. That's how you found a great coach, when they can simplify your life. And I say, hey, I've got 100 steps for you to get your life together. Who wants to do that? Okay. No. I've got 100 steps for you.
Nope, not at all.
No, not at all. Whew. I feel so wonderful. Nutritional coach, chef, realtor, loan officer, Katrina Carter. Follow her at Think Katrina all over social media. And all of her information is inside our SOULshift page. When you click on that link in the post here, it's your SOULshift like digital swag bag. So you can connect with each of our coaches and get your freebies and anything else you want to connect with. Man, listen, you just got me all the way together. And it's like, what was it? 4 steps, 5 steps?
5 steps.
4 times a year. Meal planning 4 times a year.
Yep.
Magical. Did you want to tell us anything else before we left? Because
I want the people to just focus on, like you said, setting their intentions. Like Mecca said, really taking the time to utilize those steps that she gave us, utilize the steps that both of us gave them, and create that shift for their lives, for their home, for their health, their wealth, their self-care for this year.
I love it. I love it. The fabulous Katrina Carter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great rest of your Sunday, sis.
You too.
Beautiful, beautiful. Woo! Woo, let's come back together and breathe and receive, family. This is amazing energy. We just clicked and came together virtually and made some shifts for our lives. The great thing is that when you shift into a place of, hey, I can do this, or hey, this doesn't seem so hard after all, or wow, I never knew that, I'm going to put that into action immediately. This is what we call a soul shift. So let's go ahead and seal the deal on all of this great information and all of our great action plans, because again, self-love is step one. Self-love is an action, and there are energetic actions as well that can help us to bring our greater selves to the surface. So one more time, we're just going to do a quick movement. And again, you can sit, you can stand, it doesn't even matter. Wherever you are is just fine. Let's go ahead and do our activation meditation right now. So it's a little movement and it's a meditation to activate our energy centers. So when we talk about the chakras, a lot of times people say, oh, it's a spinning wheel. It's an energy center. What does that mean? What does that mean? It never meant anything to me until I understood. These are your energy centers that tell you what your perception is in each of these areas. How do you feel about yourself in each of these places of energy? So thank you so much, Stacy. We're going to go ahead and activate together, and I'm just going to lead you through these centers so that we can activate them. It does not take a long time to switch into action. So let's go ahead and open up the arms, letting the light radiate through your fingertips. Understand the magic and the miracle of being you right now in this time and this space. There's you, there's never going to be another you. There's never been a you before this. Open to receive the bigness, the greatness, the genius, the beautiful, the fine and sexy you. Open and just receive this great energy. So good to be alive right now. Go ahead and bring your palms together. And let your palms float right over your head as we energetically activate our crown. As we energetically activate our connection to the divine. There's not a spot where God is not. Breathe into this truth in this moment. I am always connected to the divine. You can recite the affirmations with me if you like. Breathe and receive here. And let's move our palms down, right in the center of the forehead, the third eye. Breathing into this space, activating your discernment, your intuition, extrasensory abilities, able to see, you're seeing, using all of your senses to see, to discern, to intuit. Breathe and receive. Moving down, you can place your palms together right at the chin so that your fingers are crossed here in front of the throat chakra. Breathing here, accessing your power. To speak your truth every day. To affirm who you are every day. I'm pretty enough, I'm smart enough. I'm worthy. Breathe and receive as we speak the truth to ourselves every day. And let's move it down to the heart center. Placing our thumbs right in our heart center. Breathing here. And at our heart center, our heart is the healer. Allow the green healing light to explode in this place where your heart center is. Imagine the bubbling overflow that radiates light past your body and reaches out. This wonderful energy, allow it to move down and heal our next chakra, our solar plexus, right above the navel. Let the green healing energy enter the space of personal power so you can activate who you know you are. I stand, I stand, I stand for myself. I love myself. I take action on my goals. I stay in community so that I can stay in action on my goals. Breathe and receive your personal power. Allow the healing energy of the heart chakra to drip down into your spaces of personal power. Allow the green healing energy to seep into the spaces, your sacral chakra, your creativity, your genius, your flow, all the pieces and parts you want to share with the world. Intimacy, creativity, currency, flow. Keep breathing and sending the healing energy down into the root chakra now. The root, the root, the root. Self-love and security. It's okay if you have to build this foundation over again. Allow the green energy to heal your security center. Breathe here for a moment. Breathe and receive. The divine light in me salutes the divine light in you. And as we move into 2021, family, every day we have to reset our mind every day. It's just like bathing. We forget. We have other stuff to do. We're not focused on the things we say we want. So I know for me, a practice is what makes not perfect, but a practice gives you the flow. It gives you the creativity. It lights up all of the energy centers so that you can do the work you came here to do. So, as part of the link that is in the post above, is something that I call my mind and body bundle. If you're looking for a practice of movement, of meditation, of journaling, got a song I wrote about it. Here you go. Yay, it's digital. So if you would like to purchase the Mind or Body Bundle today, you can download it today and start today. The Soul Power Mind Shift 14-day journal and the Soul Yoga Beginner's Flow, it's all there. And trust me, if I don't move and meditate and write every day, I am a whole hot mess out here. So check it out. Everything is included for you at the link that is in the post. And we have really enjoyed our time together. Shout out to Mecca Dreams and Katrina Carter, our SOULshift coaches for today. Share the video with somebody, and we will see you in 2021, because this is just the beginning. We have communities, we have courses, we have action plans that we will be offering to you as the year goes on. Thank you so much for being with us. Stacy, all the way in Alaska, Delane, Felicia Gold, Kay Brown, nothing but love and virtual hugs. 2021 is here. The new version of you is here. Breathe and receive it. Once again, my name is Nikki Thomas, 102.9 KBLX. You can hear me on the radio Monday, really every day, Monday through Friday, 3 to 8. Make that Monday through Saturday, 3 to 8. And 10 to 3 on Sundays. I'm actually on the radio right now. Radio Magic, honey bun. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and thank you so much for joining us. Nikki Thomas, SOULshift 2021 Live. Thank you so much.